Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I'm in the mood for a nice little bit of calm stitching today. Unfortunately there was a bit of a hiccup which I'll tell you about as we go along. So it didn't start off calm, but I'm going to chill out now, do a nice bit of slow stitching, make something pretty. What I'm going to be using, let me show you what I'm going to be using. I've dug out these lovely scraps from some of my Bazaar scrap packs. Now unfortunately the camera doesn't like that green, it's making it look black down there. That's more of the true colour, but it's a slightly warmer green than that. It's a beautiful fabric. Now the Bazaar scrap packs, as you all know if you've watched this channel very often, I'm a big fan of them. The scraps in the Bazaar scrap bundles are all rescued from the textile industry in India. So Joe from Bazaar actually goes over to India, works very closely with the people over there. They have a great relationship with people over there. They've been working there for years, and she goes over there and sources all of everything that they sell on their website. I will put a link to their website. They don't just kind of order stuff in and import it. She goes over there and sources it directly herself. And because these scrap bundles have become so popular, she actually does now specifically go searching for scraps just for us to play with, which is brilliant. And we're saving them from going into landfill, which is fantastic. I love the packs because you just get such a unique assortment. You couldn't go out and buy these fabrics from a fabric shop. So the packs will include, it's mostly but not exclusively natural fabrics, a lot of cottons and silks. You sometimes get some brocades and velvets, and you quite often get beautiful little patchwork pieces like this. I've been hoarding this piece for a little while. This one you can see came from a garment. So this will usually be from the manufacturing process, or things that have been on display or would have gone to waste otherwise. I was thinking for this project of using this pocket, but I've decided I'm going to keep that for something else. I'm just going to use a little piece of this. I'm going to make a needle book because I didn't want to cut this piece up. I just love this piece. I love these colours, a lovely kind of golden yellow colours. And the greens, bits of green in there, tiny pops of pink and stuff. I love with these pieces, you can see that they were originally made up of scraps of older patchwork pieces. So some of these could actually be from quite old garments and things, and furnishings and things like that. And they've been patched together and backed. And then they've couched bundles of cotton thread in between. So I just wanted to just kind of honour this piece as it is, you know. So I thought a needle book, that would be great. And whether I use it myself or keep it to give as a gift to a friend, you can never have too many needle books. So the thing that was stressing me out just now, when I really wanted to just do something relaxing, was that I thought I'd use a piece of this to create a little pin cushion on the inside. So this is going to be needlebook. I'd like to have a little pin cushion as well. And I thought a great way to do that would be to make a little Suffolk puff and kind of just stuff it out just a little bit so I can use it as a pin cushion when I'm working with it. And I've got a set of Suffolk puff makers, but I know I tidied them away the other day because they were sliding all over the place, and I thought I'm going to lose them or put them somewhere safe. Well, I've just spent an hour going through my room trying to find which somewhere safe I put them in. So many possible places that would have made sense. I've looked at all of them at least 2 or 3 times. I can't find it. I've now ordered another set, but I'll have to wait over a week for them to come. It's not like I can't make a Suffolk puff without them, but it's a set that has several sizes in it, and I wanted to use it for my Millefiori project that I'm about to get started on. So it's just really frustrating, and I thought I'd be able to let it go once I ordered another set, but no, I can't. My mind will not sit still about it. Anyway, I expect the day after the new one arrives, the old one will show up. In which case I'll probably do it as a giveaway on the next live stream, so all will not be lost. It's just so frustrating, and what should have been a nice relaxing experience has got me all stressed out. So I need to chill out now and get cracking. Once I start stitching I will calm down. So I quite like, wait, you can see the dye staining and things on the back of this piece. So I'm not going to worry about covering that up, but I could do if I wanted to, I guess. Obviously I need to tidy up the edges a little bit. I've also dug out this came out of scrap packs as well. This is sari ribbon. This little bracelet, little bead bracelet, also came in a scrap pack. You get all kinds of things thrown in there. By the way, I will put a link to Bazaar. If you have a problem finding the scrap packs on the site, I find the best way is to go onto the website and search. Just put the word scrap and that will bring up, because they have a variety of types of scrap packs now. So I would do that. If you do order something from Bazaar, if you put, when you go to checkout, underneath in tiny little red print at the bottom, you'll see promo code. That's where you put your free postage code if you're spending over a certain amount, and under that you'll see note to seller or add a note or something like that. In there, if you click on that, window comes up, type in there Arty Farty Annie treat, and you'll get a little extra doodad in with your order, which is always a nice surprise. So I've got this to use. It's going to help me to create a closure. I've got the sari ribbon also for the closure, and then out of my stash I have found this piece of yellow felt, which I thought would coordinate nicely with the colours of the patchwork piece and this. And I love all of these fabrics. I just think they will look really pretty together. I've also pulled out some coordinating threads. This is going to be really easy, nothing complicated here. In fact, probably if I hadn't have spent an hour looking for my Suffolk puff makers, my yo-yo makers, I would have, I'll be halfway finished by now. Plan is, I will tidy up these edges and then I'll turn them under like an overstitch all the way around, blanket stitch all the way around or whatever. And then in one of the sides I will, before I sew it up, I will enclose a length of this sari ribbon. So the idea is then this will just close it or just wrap closed. So let me just think about which way I want it to. Let's just mark that so I don't forget. This is where I want to put the closure. This will become the top edge. Just tidy that up a little bit. And you always get, if you get these Bazaar scraps, you can't guarantee what you're going to get. You know, it is potluck. That's one of the things about them. I have never been disappointed. I haven't heard of anyone being outright disappointed, except for there was a lady once who got a lot of silk pieces, and she just didn't know what to do with the silk. So she, but I mean, I think most people probably wouldn't be disappointed with silk. So that was just more of a personal thing, really. And Susie Q ordered a pack, and she didn't get any silk at all, so she was a bit disappointed with that. I ended up sending her some of my silks because I had plenty. Again, she said she was happy with what she got. It just didn't have any silk in it. And so yeah, it is a personal thing. I'm quite happy to work with whatever I get. One of the things I love about the packs is that it's a challenge. It's like, right, I've got this beautiful piece, what am I going to do with it? And you do get some really oddly shaped pieces and things. When you get things like pockets and button plackets and stuff, what can you do with them to make the most of them? You always get, this is a little, just some of the pieces that I've got, you always get little doodads and stuff in beads and things like that in there, and you always get, kind of bundles of that was made with my yo-yo maker. See, now I'm looking thinking, have I just shoved them in there? No. I mean, here's a good example of an odd thing you might get, which is these little pieces of elastic. I imagine they were cut for face masks at some point. You get all sorts of things. I'll try and remember to link to my Bazaar playlist, because you can find lots of unboxings or unpackings. They don't come in boxes. They're plastic free. They're online sales now, so they'll all be rolled up in a bundle, tied with cord or ribbon or something, inside a compostable plastic mailer. But yeah, on that playlist you'll find lots of examples of openings of Bazaar packs and lots of the projects that I've made with them, so if you're interested. They do sell all over the world, but if you're ordering from outside the UK, don't try and put your order through on the website like you normally would. Have a look, decide what you want, and then email them. It's easy to find their email address, and they will let you know what the postage is, and if you want to go ahead, they will send you a PayPal invoice and you sort it out that way. If you try and put the order through in the normal way, it will say no, we don't sell in your country, and you'll be disappointed. So but they definitely do. Obviously, you know, you'll have to pay a little bit more for postage, but they will very quickly work that out for you and let you know. And there's, you know, there's no obligation. If they let you know and you don't want to go ahead, you don't have to go ahead. They're not going to be funny about it. They're lovely people. Okay, so I need to turn these edges under. I think I'll use clips here to help me along. Where this is stitched together here, in order to be able to turn the edges under, I might need to just liberate that a little bit. So yeah, if you've got a Bazaar pack, you're not necessarily going to be able to follow along with what I'm doing now exactly, but undoubtedly you will have pieces in there that you can do something similar to this with. I've had these kind of patchwork pieces a lot in my packs. They're pretty. I mean, I can't say you'll always get one, but they're quite, you know, I've had a lot of them in the packs. I think I'll probably leave that one. I'm not even taking that up. I quite like that messy edge there. I'm going to leave that as is. With this edge, because it's so close to here, I don't want to take these stitches out so I can turn this end under, because then all the couching will come undone. I think what I will do is leave it like that, trim it off just a little bit more, and I'll just blanket stitch over the whole thing. So I'm going to go up and out, round there, round there, round there, leave an opening here to put, or just, you know, enclose this sari ribbon in as I go. Okay. And I'm just turning under a tiny hem, not too much. I don't want to lose too much of the pattern apart from anything else. I'll just use some little clips to help me along. And then at the corners, I think I'll keep it simple and just turn it like that. I think that will do. I could miter the corners, but I don't think I need to. Once I've clipped everything and I'm ready to start stitching, I'll come back to you. I have put a shed load of clips all the way around there. Let's get that off. It's making a horrible noise. It looks like a lot, but I just wanted to keep it all turned under. And I think before I do my blanket stitch, I'm just going to run a quick kind of almost tacking stitch all the way around the edge so I can get rid of the clips and enjoy the stitching, because the clips are going to annoy me. So I just undid it a little bit as I showed and turned the edges of the fabric under. Didn't want to turn this under as well because it'd make it too bulky, so I'm just going to trim this off sort of flush with the edge. If it ends up a bit sort of messy and fluffy like that, I don't mind. I like the look of it. These, you know, these are all pieces that have had a previous life, and I'm happy for that to be apparent. Still intrigued to know where on earth my yo-yo maker set has ended up. It was a set of 4 different sizes, not Clover, kind of an off-brand, but they were perfectly good enough. £12.37 for the whole set. As I say, when the second lot turn up, maybe I'll just do the set as a giveaway, so it won't be wasted. But it's just very annoying, isn't it, when that sort of thing happens? I should have just left them where they were. They've been sat to my left hand side on this desk for weeks. I've been using them and then just putting them back there. I can remember the moment where I thought, oh, I need to find a proper place for these because they're falling all over the place and annoying me. I'll put them somewhere proper. And that's it. Can't remember anymore. Right, and I'm not going to worry what this looks like because the blanket stitching will cover it up in a minute anyway. I just can't stand to wear. I want to enjoy the stitching. And I want it to be nice and relaxing, and it won't be if I've got clips annoying me. So, and I think either this will be a handy little extra needle book for me, little pin cushion inside, and because it will be in a kind of a wrap format, I can also use it to gather up a few bobbins of thread as well. So this will be a really handy little thing, or it'll be a lovely little gift for a friend, and a nice way to feature this beautiful piece of patchwork. I'm going to carry on working around there. You can see I've trapped the sari ribbon in between the layers there, and I'll do a couple of extra stitches there to make sure that's well anchored as I'm going round. Right, back in a mo. That's better. Got rid of those clips. So now I'm just going to do a straightforward blanket stitch around the outside, I think. Just chill out. And that'll it'll add a nice little edge, and it will make sure that everything stays neat and tidy as well. But I don't, the edges don't fray out or anything. Yeah, I think I'll just do a straightforward blanket stitch. That's better. I should have given up that frustrating hunt after the first 5 minutes. I knew I'd feel better once I actually start stitching. Okay, so I'm just going to go all round all 4 edges like that. I'm just using 3 strands of a stranded cotton and my customary huge long needle with a nice big eye. It's a big eye, but it's quite slim, so it will go through the fabric reasonably easily. I think it's one of my Sashiko needles actually. Okay, so I'll carry on working round, and I'll be back when I'm ready for the next step. This is going to be a nice quick little project. Coming to the end now. Hasn't taken too long. And make a little knot here to finish it off. Oops. Just lose the end up in between the layers of fabric. Snip that off. And I just want to square this up a little bit. So this is going to go here, fold in half, and I'll stitch it down there. Let's get a little pin. Where do pins go? That'll go like that. Then I'll make the Suffolk Puff pin cushion, so it will open up like that. Pin cushion will go there. Yeah, or maybe there, and then the whole thing will wrap around like this. I've dug out a little button to use for the closure. Oh no, I was going to use that bracelet, but now I've lost it. Where's it gone? Here we are. Yeah, so I thought I would just snip one of these beads off. Actually, that's what I was going to do. Do I still like that? Yeah, I think that's quite fun. I thought I'd stitch it on there, and then the ribbon can wrap around it like that. Yep, that will work. If I want to use a button, I could put the button on the inside, but I don't think I really need it. Let's save that for another day. And yeah, because of the kind of wraparound format, that will allow me enough space to put quite a lot of threads in there, as well as the pin cushion. Perhaps if the pin cushion is under there, and there's still enough room for it to all kind of wrap together and keep it all contained. Yeah, I think that'll work nicely. So let's do a line of stitching down here. I might go into the, shall I use the green now? And because I'm going to be attaching the felt to the patchwork, it's going to show, so I can't kind of do a chain stitch or something because I don't want to ruin this. wonder if I can manage to just attach it to this bit. I might be able to. So I quite fancy it being a chain stitch. I think that would look quite nice, but okay, let's lose the knot inside there. And this isn't, you know, it doesn't have to be super strong or anything, so I think if I can manage to get it to stay, to not go all the way through, that would be quite good. Because all it needs to do is attach the felt to the cover. It's not got to be super strong, really. Yeah, I think that would be good. That would be good enough, and it's not coming through at all. Okay, let's do that, and then we'll see what we think in a minute. It's a little bit crooked. Don't think I'm going to worry about it. We'll just call it quirky and not worry about it. But I could make this a line of chain stitch, and I'm quite tempted to do that. Or I could whip the stitch, or make it a line of a Y stitch or something. That could be quite pretty. Now I've got it attached on there. Let's see if this seems strong enough. Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely strong enough, and it's not coming through at all, which is great. Perfect. Right, okay. Maybe I will do something a bit more decorative then, and it will disguise the fact it's a bit wibbly wobbly. Okay, let's go chain stitch. Thinking I might just try whipping that stitch with a bit of the yellow, just because I think it'd look cute. Yeah, if you have a piece like this and you don't like this kind of dye stained looking effect, I mean, I do. I love it, and I love that you can see the back stitch in here as well. But if you didn't like that, you could definitely, it would look quite cute if you lined it with a coordinating piece of print fabric or something like that. Another piece out of the scraps, you know. Okay, let's just bring this thread up from underneath to hide the knot, and I'm just going to use the blunt end of the needle, the eye of the needle instead of the point, to just take the thread back through each of the chain stitches that I've made. I'm not going into the fabric at all. I'm just twisting this contrasting thread around the previous stitching, so it's not functional at all. It's just for pretties. Quite like the look of that. Yeah, that's quite cute effect. I like that. Make a little knot here to finish it off. Snip a thread. There we go. So now the last thing to do is to make my little Suffolk Puff pin cushion, and I'm not really sure what size I'm going to need. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw around this, use this, and whatever size it works out is just going to have to be fine. So yeah, it's perfectly possible to make a nice Suffolk Puff or yo-yo without any gadgets at all. It's just that I really wanted to use my gadget. I only need one strand for this because it's not decorative or anything, and I'm just going to turn the edges under, just do a tiny little hem. Pull you down again now. Just to turn over a tiny hem like that. get too close to the edge with this because it will fray away this fabric. And I'm going to stitch all the way around, turning under a tiny hem as I go, which is where of course the little gadget makes it very easy to get that uniform turn. I just get really consistent yo-yos with very little effort with the gadget. But having said that, I made Suffolk puffs for years without the gadget, so I should just stop whining and get on with it. I think to get the kind of uniform sizes as well, it's quite hard to work out. I'm just hoping that this is going to work out the size. But you can vary it a little bit by just not gathering it up quite so tightly anyway. So just coming up to where I started, I'm going to overlap this stitching a little bit, just a little way, and then bring it to the right side. And now I'm going to gather it all up. I've just snapped the thread. After doing all of that, I've just snapped the thread. Okay, maybe I should have used this double after all then. Can't believe that. Okay, I'm going to do that again off camera and I'll be back in a minute. Right, I did that again. I think we're okay this time. I suddenly remembered I've got this little vintage button which I absolutely love. I can't remember where it came from, but I absolutely love it and I think this is the perfect time to use it. So what I'm going to do is just sort of lightly stuff this out, perhaps just with some of the offcuts I've just created. Actually would work. Just, it doesn't need a lot, just a little bit of padding. Let's get a little bit more out of my quartz jar. And then I'm just going to pull it up quite as tight as I can go, really, without breaking my thread again. And oh, I've done it again. I don't believe it. Okay, I'm going to do this for a third time. Right, third time's a charm. I've closed it all up this time. It's closed up as it wants to go. I daren't pull it any harder. Put a few stitches in just to anchor it, and I've taken the thread out through to here where it won't show. And now I'm going to attach this button, so it looks pretty and it covers the hole. Let's just do a couple of stitches here to anchor everything. Okay, and then I'm just going to stitch this on here. Go. That's a bit of a better look at it. So I will just now, let's take this thread out to the edge. I'll just do a little kind of ladder stitch now, and I'm just going to stitch this into the middle of this space here. I think that'll work. So I'll just do a little ladder stitch, just take a stitch into the background fabric. Oops. I'll stitch into the puff. Back to the background. Back to the puff. Just like that. I'll just go like that all the way around. And if I feel like it needs it, I'll go around again, but I think that's probably going to be enough. There we go. And as I say, I could add some more decorative stitching around there if I feel like it. That might be quite nice. I might do that. So I'm going to finish doing that, load up my little needle wrap, and I'll come back and show you. There we go, all done, finished. And that only took like a couple of hours altogether. I've ended up not putting the button on the outside for the closure because I've just made the ribbon long enough that it just wraps around and tucks inside itself. It's nice and easy. Allows for me to stuff a bit more inside if I want to. I did do some stitching around because I just couldn't resist, and I'm really glad I did because I think that really adds to it. I've stuck a few pins in just to show how I would use it. I probably would add some more pins in there. Plenty of room for more needles, and plenty of scope to put extra thread bobbins in there. And you know, if I was just going downstairs to work on a little project, to be fair, I'd probably also tuck perhaps my smaller pair of scissors, but I'd probably also tuck my pair of scissors in there, wrap the whole lot up and take it downstairs. Let's make me a cute thumbnail. There we go, all done. It's a shame that comes out. This colour is such a beautiful green on camera, which is a shame. There we go, hoping I can get a reasonable thumbnail out of that. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you again really soon.